Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Sri Tips here. What I have here is an anode bar, about 17 troy ounces of 995 pure gold. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to refine this bar to 4/9 fine pure gold in our electrolytic gold refining cell. In my previous video, I cast the anode bar for the cell. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I started making the electrolyte for the cell, and I think I spent about 10 hours trying to dissolve these two gold bars down in here. And so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and filter this. This is going to be the electrolyte for the electrolytic gold refining cell. Got a beautiful, clear and bright chloroauric acid solution. We use that for the electrolyte. Here's what's in the funnel. If you notice, there's a little piece of plastic in there, I think that was. And I think it comes from the acid bottle. The acid bottle is sealed up with plastic, and those pieces come off and tend to get in our work. They harm nothing, and as you can see, you got it easily filtered out. I'm setting this out of the way. These are the two pure gold bars that I tried to dissolve in aqua regia, and they look fantastic. And what I should have done was granulize them by pouring molten gold in the water, melt them, pour them in water, and make granules. But I didn't do that. I'm going to transfer them into a smaller beaker. I'm going to add some hydrochloric acid to the gold here. This beaker. That's about 200 milliliters of hydrochloric acid in there. I measure out about 50 milliliters of nitric acid. What we'll do is just dump this right on in now. It's been a while since I've dissolved solid gold like this, and when you don't do something for quite some time, you lose proficiency. And I think I added way too much nitric acid into this reaction. And so after all the gold dissolves, I'm going to have a whole bunch of excess nitric in that solution that I'm going to have to get rid of. I think I've got all of the solid gold to go into solution now. And just to make sure, what I'll do here is I've got a separate bar that I set aside just for this purpose. It's pure gold bar, and I'm going to put it in here and let it cook for a little while, just to ensure that we have all the excess nitric consumed. As soon as I dropped that bar in there and seen it start reacting like that, I knew I was in trouble. Here I've made a rookie mistake and added way too much nitric acid. So now we're going to have to spend a bunch of time trying to rid the solution of all that excess nitric. I've got the solution evaporated down. You can see there's some fume production going on inside the beaker, and it should be just a few more minutes here. And as soon as all those fumes clear up in there, we should be good to go. The fumes are the nitric acid being driven off out of gold solution. Those red fumes are the excess nitric acid being driven off out of our solution. Here I'm going to add a shot of hydrochloric acid, and when I put that in there, it forms fresh aqua regia, and that is reacting with the bar of gold that's still down on the bottom of the beaker and creating all those fumes. Either way, our excess nitric is being driven off.
I think it's safe to conclude that we've got all the nitric acid driven off out of there. We'll pull this down and let it cool off.
Just caused the filter paper to fail. It's like it failed in 3 places. One there, and one over here. 4 places, one down here. Put a new filter in the funnel, and then I took the failed filter paper and put it in on top of it. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. I just wanted to get it in there to see if I could rinse the gold that was trapped on the failed filter paper. It was successful, so I just left it in there. This is the little 15.5 gram bar that I placed in the gold solution to consume excess nitric, and I'll be lucky if there's maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 grams left in that. This is the pure gold bar that I added to the gold solution to consume the excess nitric, and it looks quite spectacular. Be a nice little pendant on a chain. I got all this liquid pulled through the filter now, just about. just barely had enough room in here. Our solution looks beautiful, clear and bright. Perfect electrolyte for the electrolytic gold refining cell. I'm going to set this out of the way. This will be our electrolyte. This funnel back here will have a little bit of gold in it. So I'm just going to rinse this down into this little flask here. Both of these will have a little bit of gold in these solutions. What I'll probably end up doing is just adding this into my temporary waste container. Here you can see the filter is clean as a whistle. I'm going to move this out of the way now and get set up to do the electrolytic gold refining. Wire up out of the way so we don't get it on the power supply. There we go. I'm dropping in a stir bar. I don't plan to use it the whole time, but at least I'll be able to stir the solution if I need to. I think we're ready to operate the cell. We're going to be shooting for 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 60 Celsius. I've got a couple marks right here. This is the 900 milliliter level, and this is just under 1 liter. Here's the electrolyte. There's about 120 or so grams of pure gold dissolved in this 1100 or 1050 milliliters of chloroauric acid. So I'm gonna dump it in now to this lower level. Test out our stir bar, make sure this thing is going to work properly. There it goes. Let me center the cell a little bit here. The cell operates. I've got some spare electrolyte that I can add in to replenish it, because if it's like the silver cell, the gold ions in this electrolyte will become depleted as the cell operates. I'll be adding small doses of hydrochloric acid as the cell operates. Also, I'm just going to move this out of the way for now. Here we go. I'm going to add hydrochloric acid up to this level here. Let's energize the power supply. Got the voltage all the way down, current all the way up, and it's in constant voltage mode. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on there. It says to run this thing at 1.5 volts. So we're going to crank this up to 1.5 volts in constant voltage mode. And we should see an immediate reaction on our cathode over here as the gold starts to dissolve from the anode bar and transfer through the electrolyte and plate out onto the cathode. I've added some heat here and trying to regulate the temperature at about 140 Fahrenheit, which is 60 Celsius. What's happening here is the current flow through the cell. The positive side is connected to the anode, and it pushes the gold ions off of the anode bar. It dissolves them. They travel through the electrolyte, and the negative side of the power supply is connected to the titanium cathode where the gold deposits. This thing is working perfect. And I hate to take it apart, but it's getting late. And so I think what we're going to have to do is call it here and take the cell apart, see what we got so far. Let's turn off the stir bar, turn off the heat. Here you can see the temperature was nearly perfect at 140 Fahrenheit, and that's 60 degrees Celsius. Let's kill the power supply, and I'm going to disconnect the leads. Take the thermometer out of here. Let's get our cathode out of here. Oh yeah, that thing's got some nice gold deposited on it. Look at that thing, man. That's going to be high purity gold crystal. And we'll do the same with the anode. Take a look at that thing. It's hot. Just gonna put a lid on this and take a look at our gold down here, man. Look at this stuff. Look at that pure gold crystal. It's unbelievable. High purity, 4/9 fine. pure gold. And here's a look at the anode bar and how it's fared. Look at that thing, man. That's something you don't see every day. Go ahead and rinse our anode bar off real good. Get all the electrolyte rinsed off of here. And now what I'll do with this is I'm going to stick this in a separate jar over here for safekeeping. I'm going to stick this down into this beaker. I'm going to add some distilled water to it. That is some beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, high purity gold crystal. What we'll do is we'll offer some of this stuff for sale on our eBay site when I've completed the refining. All right, we're not done with this, and I think what I may try to do is go ahead and continue this refining. See how much more of this anode bar down here we can get dissolved and put through the electrolyte up here and get it to deposit on our cathode. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to call this part 2 of the electrolytic gold refining cell. This will complete the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching.